Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Selenium Tech Automation. In this today tutorial, I am going to discuss about what is black box testing, and also it is very important interview question if you are giving your interview as a fresher candidate or experienced candidate. Okay, so this question is mainly from manual testing point of view, and also it is applicable for automation testing as well. Okay, during your interview, your interviewer may ask you about what is black box testing and why we need to do this black box testing, and also what are the different kinds of black box testing types are available. Okay, so first let me discuss about what is black box testing. Okay, so here black box testing is also process of a testing conducted on the developed application by the testers, okay, and by the end users. Okay, so black box testing is also a process of testing which is conducted on the developed application by the testers, okay, by the testers and also by the end users to make sure, okay, to make sure that the application is meeting the customer business requirements or not. Okay, that is called as black box testing. Okay, black box testing which should be conducted on the developed application by the testers and by the end users to make sure that that application is meeting the customer business requirements or not, then that is called as black box testing. Okay, so let me open the slides, okay, where we can have what is black box testing and also what are the different kinds of black box testing types we have. We will see one by one. Okay, so first here why we need this black box testing. Okay, before that, this black box testing is commonly called as system testing and user acceptance testing. Okay, so here both system testing and user acceptance testing commonly called as black box testing. Okay, so then why black box testing is required? Okay, why black box testing is required, right? So why black box testing is required? So let me show you. Okay, so let me show you. So here why black box testing is required. Okay, in white box testing, in white box testing, programmers will check the code in a technical perception, whereas in black box testing, testers will validate the application in an end user perception. Okay, if you consider white box testing means, so there the developers or programs will check the code in a technical point of view, whereas as an automation tester or as a manual tester, so we have to validate the application from the point of end user perception. Okay, so that's the reason why we need to perform this black box testing. And also here black box testing main objective is, okay, here the black box testing main objective is, okay, the black box testing main objective here is 100% requirement coverage area. Okay, here why black box testing objective means, the black box testing objective is 100% requirement coverage. Okay, for example, there is some requirement to develop to test an application. Okay, that is some Amazon application. So there as an testers, okay, if we are doing this black box testing means, the objective of this black box testing is we need to complete that 100% requirement coverage. Okay, whether we tested that particular application 100% or not, so that we are going to achieve with the help of black box testing. Okay, and also here the programmers will test the code in a positive perception, right? The programmers or developers will test their code in a positive perception, whereas testers will test the application in negative perception, means where there is a chance of finding more defects. Okay, where there is a chance of finding more defects. Okay, so then the next slide here is white box testing objective is 100% code coverage area, whereas black box testing is 100% requirement coverage area. Okay, here white box testing objective is 100%, that is from code coveraging only, whereas black box testing means that is 100% requirement coverage area. Okay, so that is all about why black box testing. And also we have one more point here. Okay, and also we have one more point here. At application level, non-functional testings like UI testing, compatibility testing, usability testing are not possible, right? At application level, okay, at application level, non-functional testing like usability testing, compatibility testing are not possible, right? To perform these activities, black box testing is introduced because during your application is developing, so during that time it is not possible to perform non-functional testing types like user interface testing, usability testing, compatibility testing are not possible because that application still in development state only. So during that time it is not possible to perform the non-functionality testing types like user interface testing is not possible at application level, usability testing is not possible at application level, and also compatibility testing also not possible at application level, right? So to perform all these non-functionality testing activities, here the black box testing is introduced, right? So that is about why black box testing. Okay, so next we will see the next slide here is, okay, so we already discussed, right, the combination of system testing and user acceptance testing commonly called as black box testing, right? So first we will see what is system testing here. Okay, so here what is system testing? System testing means, so let me open this one. Okay, let me view it from slides only. Okay, what is system testing here? Okay, what is system testing? First we will discuss. So here system testing, right, validating the functionality requirements and non-functionality requirements of the system is called as system testing. Okay, so validating the functional requirements and non-functional requirements of the system is called as system testing, right? So here system testing broadly classified into functional testing or non-functional testing, right? So first, what is black box testing? Combination of system testing and user acceptance testing. Okay, and also why black box testing, and also now we will see what is system testing. For user acceptance testing I will made one more video in coming days. Okay, once that is done I will upload what is user acceptance testing as well. First we will see system testing. Okay, so what is system testing here? System testing is nothing but validating the functionality requirements and non-functionality requirements of the system is called as system testing. Here system is nothing but a application only. Okay, system is nothing but an application. Okay, first we will see functional requirements and non-functional requirements, right? Validating the functional requirements and non-functional requirements of the system is called as system testing, right? So first we will see what is the functional testing here. Okay, what is functional testing and what is non-functional testing. Okay, first we will discuss one by one what is functionality testing and non-functionality testing. So let me move to one more slide, that is what is functional testing here. Okay, what is functional testing we will see. Okay, so here, right, okay, 1 second. Yeah, functional testing. What is functional testing? It is a process of understanding customer business needs and expectations, then validating the functionalities in our product to make sure all the functionalities are working as per the requirements or not. Okay, what is functional testing here? Functional testing is a process of testing, understanding the customer business requirements and their expectations, so then validating the functionalities in our product to make sure all the functionalities are working as per the requirements or not. For example, there is a customer who came with some requirement like to build some login functionality for their application. So during this time it is a process of functional testing as a functional testing technique. So here we need to understand the customer business requirements and also what they are expecting. So then only we are going to validating the functionalities in our login functionality application. Okay, after validating, so what we are doing, we are make suring that all the functionalities are working fine as per the requirements or not. Okay, this is called as functional testing. So once it is working fine, then we are going to delivering that product to that particular end user or customer, right? So that is all about functional testing. It is a process of understanding customer business needs and their expectations, then validating the functionalities, for example login functionality in our product, that is Gmail application, So there we are going to make sure that all the functionalities are working as per the customer requirements or not. So, okay, that is about functional testing. So, and also in this functional testing, what are the different types of functional testing types we have, we will see, we will here. Okay, for example, functional testing type, right? For example, if we can consider IRCTC application, we have to check new user is a station. Okay, as a new user I need to check for a station, and also as a new user I want to test the login functionality. As a new user I want to book some train ticket. As a new user I want to cancellation of my train ticket. Okay, so these are all the functionalities where we are going to test with the help of these functionality testing types. Okay, so under that functional testing type methods, the first type here is smoke testing. Okay, the second type here is formal testing, the third type here is ad hoc testing, and the next type here is priority based testing or risk based testing, and the next type here is retesting, and the next functional testing type here is regression testing. Okay, so these are all the different functional testing type or methods here. Okay, we will see now one by one. Okay, now we will see what is smoke testing here. Okay, so now we will see what is smoke testing. Okay, now first we will see what is a smoke testing. Okay, smoke testing is also a kind of quick test or rough test to perform on the given application to ensure that whether it is eligible for further testing or not. Okay, so here it is a kind of quick test or a rough test. Means smoke test is a kind of quick test or a rough test performed on the given application to ensure whether this application is eligible for further testing or not. That is called as smoke testing. Okay, that is called as smoke testing. Smoke testing means it is a quick test or it is a rough test to perform on the given application to ensure whether the application is eligible for further testing or not. Okay, that is called as smoke testing. Okay, so what to be verified in smoke testing? There is one more question. What to be verified in smoke testing? So in smoke testing we will check all the base functionalities are available or not. Okay, and also we will check the application is consistently operatable or not. Okay, so these are the things we are going to verify during this smoke testing. Okay, these are the things we are going to verify during the smoke testing. Okay, the same you can see here. We will check all the basic functionalities are available or not, and also we will check application is consistently operatable or not. Okay, that to be verified in smoke testing. Okay, so then the next concept here is what is the objective of smoke testing. It is very important, frequently asked interview question, that is why we are using this smoke testing or what is the objective of smoke testing. Okay, smoke testing performed on the given application to decide that it is testable or not, and not to find out the defects. Okay, so during the smoke testing we will test only whether the application is furtherly testable or not, but not to find out the defects. Okay, during the smoke testing we are not going to find out any defects. Okay, it is just for testing that application it is furtherly testable or not, or the application is consistently operatable or not, or the basic functionalities are available or not. Okay, that is the main objective of smoke testing. This smoke testing is not going to test to find out the defects. It is only to find out whether that application is testable furtherly or not. That is the main objective of smoke testing. Okay, so then the next slide here is formal testing, right? So these are all comes under functional testing types only. So here what is formal testing? Okay, what is formal testing here? Okay, so here what is formal testing? If we test application by following all the planned testing procedures and prepare documentation, it is called as formal testing. Okay, for example, if I want to test some Gmail application, so if we are following some BRS, like functional requirement specification, and also BRS document, that is business requirement specification or software requirement specification. Means by going through all these documents, if we are going to perform some testing, means then that is called as formal testing. And also during this formal testing, if we are following some procedure, okay, or if we are following some documents, okay, then that is called as formal testing. Means this formal testing mainly suggested for maintenance projects, means where the project duration is very long, like more than 3 years or 5 years or 6 years. Okay, for those projects we have to perform this formal testing. Okay, during this formal testing, if we are following any documentation part or if we are following any procedure, okay, that is called as formal testing, and this formal testing is mainly applicable for maintenance projects only, right? Okay, that is about formal testing. Okay, so then what is our next testing technique here? Okay, the next testing under functional testing type here is ad hoc testing. Okay, what is ad hoc testing here? Okay, so previously we discussed about what is that? Previously we discussed about formal testing, right? Previously we discussed about formal testing. So now ad hoc testing. Ad hoc testing is also a testing type from the functional testing type. So here, if we want to test a application without following procedures and documentation, means no test cases, then that is called as ad hoc testing. Previously in formal testing, we followed all the documents, we followed some procedure to test our application, then that is called as some formal testing. Whereas if you come to ad hoc testing, here there is no procedure to follow and here there is no documents to be followed. Okay, so then that is called as ad hoc testing, right? It is this ad hoc testing is suggested for small projects which need to be only one time tested or it is really tested. Okay, this ad hoc testing technique is mainly suitable for smaller projects where that application need to be tested only one time or we really tested that application. Okay, that is called as ad hoc testing. Okay, then that is called as ad hoc testing, right? Okay, next what is our next technique under functional testing type? So we will see, yeah, this is priority based testing. It is also coming from the functionality testing type only. First we will see what is priority based testing and what are the advantages of priority based testing. Okay, we will discuss one by one now. What is priority based testing here? Okay, what is priority based testing? It is a process of deciding, okay, it is a process of deciding what to test first, then what to test next, and then what to test last, and executing the remaining. Means if I test one functionality first, okay, then I am going to test the next functionality, after that I am going to test the last functionality step. Okay, it is a process of deciding what to test first, what to test next, what to test last, and then we are going to executing the first in the same order. If I test the first functionality, then I am going to execute. If I test the next functionality, then I am going to execute that particular next functionality. If I test the last functionality, then I am going to execute the last functionality. Okay, then that is called as priority based testing. It is a process of deciding what to test first, what to test next, what to test last. So then that is called as, what is that? Then that is called as priority based testing. Okay, and what are the advantages of priority based testing? Okay, what are the advantages of priority based testing? This priority based testing helps us to report critical defect at early stage to the development team. Okay, this priority based testing or risk based testing will helps us to report the critical defect at early stage to the development team. For example, if I found any defect on login functionality only, okay, this priority based testing concept or risk based testing technique will helps us to report that critical defect at the early stage to the development team. Okay, and if the sufficient time is not available, priority based testing is a better method. For example, okay, for example, my product, my product is going to deliver on tomorrow. Okay, so during that time I don't have time to report few more defects to the development team. So during that time, what we will do, with the help of this priority based or risk based testing, we will prioritize the defects. Okay, we will prioritize the defects and we will report it to the development team. So based upon the priorities, the developer is going to fix all the defects on time only. So once that is got fixed, so then we are going to retest that fixed defect again. So accordingly, we are going to deliver our product on the time to our customer, right? So that means if the sufficient time is not available, priority wise we are going to perform this priority based testing. Okay, so that is about the advantages of priority based testing. Okay, then what is our next testing concept under priority based testing? Okay, what is our next testing technique under functional testing type? That is retesting. Okay, so here what is a retesting actually, and when to go for retesting testing technique. Okay, so what is a retesting here? So retesting, sorry, so here retesting, right? If we test a functionality repeatedly again and again, it is called as retesting, right? And also retesting is also called as a confirmation testing, right? Retesting is also called as confirmation testing. So what is retesting actually? If we test a functionality repeatedly again and again, then it is called as a retesting. For example, if I am testing login functionality multiple times, okay, so then that is called as retesting. Means when to go for this retesting technique? So testing the functionality in the modified build to ensure prepared defects are correctly resolved or not. For example, in my current build, I found some defects I assigned to the respective developer. So I took some new build on tomorrow. So during that time, whatever we reported to the developer, so those defects are properly resolved or not in the latest build. So that is called as retesting. Okay, during that time we are going to perform this retesting. Okay, so then the next point here is testing a functionality with multiple inputs to ensure all customer asked business conditions are correctly implemented or not. Okay, here there is some application, so where 500 users wants to use the application called Gmail application, right? So here during this retesting technique, okay, during this retesting technique, I am not going to finalize, okay, I am not going to finalize that with only 5 people logged into that application. Okay, for example, there are 500 people are available, so I am not going to conclude by testing with only 5 users. I want to test more, I want to test that application with more number of users. Okay, during that time this retesting concept will come here. Okay, for example, I am testing that particular application where it will accept 500 users to log in. So during that time I am testing with only 5 customers, but what about remaining 495 people? So it is not the correct way of retesting, okay, the functionality again and again, but I want to test with all the customers, ensure that the functionality, the login functionality is working fine for all the 500 customers. Okay, it is not like to conclude that with only 5 customers testing. Okay, I am not going to conclude that by testing with the help of only 5 users or 10 users. Okay, maybe for the 11th user, maybe that login functionality is not working. Okay, for 13th user is not working, for 15th user is not working, for 499 user not able to log into the functionality. During that time, so we need to test that particular functionality with multiple users. So then that is called as retesting. During this time we will go for retesting. Okay, that is called as retesting. Okay, that is called as retesting, right? So then we will see about what is our next testing technique under functional testing type. Okay, then what is our next one? That is regression testing. Okay, what is regression testing? Okay, what is a regression testing? It is also a process of testing which will comes from the functional testing type only, right? It is a process of identifying various functionalities in the modified build. Okay, in the modified build. Okay, it is a process of, okay, it is a process of identifying various functionalities in the modified build which may get affected basis of the change, maybe then retesting those functionalities. For example, Okay, for example, sorry guys, for example, I took some new build. Okay, I took some new build. For example, earlier my build number is 3.0 version. Okay, after that we tested all our functional testing, and then we uh, updated to that particular development team to make some new more, to add some new more functionalities. Okay, so during that time what this developer made, so he made some code changes, again he deployed some latest build. So then as a tester I am going to take that new build. Okay, so once I took that new build, so here I am going to test my test cases whether due to this new build my existing test cases are affecting or not. Okay, so then that is called as regression testing. Means in order to add a new functionality or to modify existing functionality or resolve a defect, programmers will do code changes, right? These code changes may introduce some side effects. Regression test objective is finding these defects. Okay, once if I took some new build, if I have any defects, so during that time we will do this regression testing. Okay, that is called about regression testing. Okay, that is called about regression testing. Okay, so then we will see what is our next testing concept here. So I will discuss regression testing is nothing but it is a process of testing. So for example, if I took some new build number is 3.2. Okay, so in this current build developer made some code changes. Okay, because of those code changes, whether my application is affecting the existing functionalities or not, we are going to test these functionality changes. Okay, during that time whether the new code changes is affecting my existing functionality of my application or not, so that is called as regression testing. With the help of this regression testing we are going to find out the defects on this current build or latest build, right? So now we will see, that is all about functional testing types. So now we will see non-functional testing types. Okay, so now we will see non-functional testing types. Okay, now we will see what is non-functional testing types, what are the different testing types of non-functionality testing types. Okay, so here non-functionality testing types, right? Non-functional testing types. So here the first non-functional testing type here is user interface testing. Okay, and then usability testing, then security testing. After the security testing we have one more authorization testing and authentication testing. So after that we have compatibility testing and recovery testing and performance testing and globalization testing and localization testing and installation testing and uninstallation testing. Okay, so these are all comes under the non-functional testing types. Okay, these non-functional testing types are not able to perform at the application level, so because of that we introduced this system testing and user acceptance testing. Under system testing, because of not able to perform at application level all these kinds of testing, we introduced black box testing. Inside that black box testing, combination of system testing plus user acceptance testing. We will discuss user acceptance testing in later one of our video. So just now we discussed about what is system testing and what are the different types of system testing we have. Under that we discussed about functional testing type. So now we are discussing about non-functional testing types. Okay, these are all the different non-functional testing types such as security testing, usable testing, UI testing, authentication testing, authorization testing, localization testing, globalization testing, and the last one here is installation testing and uninstallation testing. Okay, first we will see what is user interface testing, that is UI testing. Okay, so validating the appearance, look of the web pages is called as user interface testing, right? So sometimes user interface issues will also call some cosmetic defects. Okay, what is user interface testing here? Validating the appearance and look of the web pages is called as user interface testing. Okay, so here some checklists are there for you to do this user interface testing. First we will see what are those checklists. So first checklist here is check the company logo and the company name are correctly visible or not. Okay, this is the first checklist for to do this user interface testing, that is called as check company logo and company name are correctly visible or not. Okay, then the next checklist here is checking the background color and also font color and also which are these are following some consistently or not. okay, which are arranged in some good manner or not, that the fonts and their font colors and their background colors and their spaces between the fonts, okay. So these and all comes under one more checklist. So then check the mandatory fields are highlighted or not. For example, there is some mandatory fields. For example, if I enter my username, I have to enter the password. For this password, they mention some mandatory star symbol or not. We need to check those as well, and also checking the spelling and availability of the web elements. Okay, checking the spelling. For example, there is some login. Okay, unfortunately it got misspelled with LOGIN. So during this UI testing, we need to find out whether that is correctly spelled or not, and also we have to find that particular web element is visible or not, or it is available or not. Okay, that is about UI testing. Okay, so then what is our next non-functional testing type here? That is usability testing. Okay, so usability testing is a process of checking our application is easily understandable and operable by end user or not. Okay, what is usability testing? It is a process of checking whether our application is easily understandable and operable by end user or customer or not. Okay, as an end user or customer, if I am using some Gmail application, means so that should be in a way so everyone can use. Okay, everyone can use, and also everyone can understandable. So then that testing is called as usability testing. And the next testing type here is security testing. So what is security testing here? It is a process of checking whether all the required security conditions are correctly implemented or not. Okay, it is a process of checking whether all the required security conditions are correctly implemented or not. That is called as security testing. Okay, inside this security testing we have two types. The first type here is authorization testing, and the next type here is authentication testing. Okay, inside security testing, okay, inside security testing we have two more testing types. The first one here is authorization testing, and the next type here is authentication testing. And in this security testing also we have some checklist. So the first checklist is check the data entered in secure fields like login password or transaction password or credit card numbers or CVV numbers are getting encrypted or not. This is the first checklist for security testing. And also checking the browser navigation after logout. Okay, once if I took the logout, if I click on the navigate back arrow, so again if it is taking to my application or not. For example, I used some HDFC bank transaction. So once my transaction got completed, I clicked on that logout button. Okay, if that logout is working properly, means what I will do, again I have to log in, right? So once if I took logout, some other customer is trying to log in. So what he did, after my logout, he clicked on that browser navigation button. So what it is doing now, again it is showing my information to that new user who logged in just now. Okay, so during that time, that is also one checklist we need to check. And also check the direct URL access for the secured pages, and also check for the authorization and check for the authentication. And also if we are working with some banking application, there we need to check for virtual keyboard is enabled or not, and we need to check for the captcha is displaying or not, and also we need to check for that OTP is implemented wherever it is required. Okay, so these are the checklist we have to remember for performing the security testing. Okay, so inside this security testing we have two more, that is authorization testing and authentication testing. So here authorization testing, what is authorization testing? It is a process of checking whether the admin able to create new login accounts or not. Okay, for example, if you consider some WhatsApp application, so there I am going to create some new group. Okay, so to create, after creating the new group, I am admin for that particular group, right? So for this particular group I can add many people, right? Because I am admin and also because I created that particular group. So during this time it is called as authorization testing. So then the next testing here is authentication testing. It is a process of checking does the system able to recognize registered user or not, and providing the right information to the right user or not. If I logged into my account, so that account is completely related to me only. Okay, if another person is logged in, for him it is not showing his account, instead of his account it is showing my account. Okay, so during that time it is related to authentication testing, we need to check it properly. Okay, so then what is our next non-functional testing type here? That is about compatibility testing. Okay, compatibility testing means it is a process of checking whether the application is properly visible and properly working in different devices or different operating systems and different browsers or not. Okay, compatibility testing means it is a process of checking whether the application is properly visible and properly working in different devices. For example, on different browsers, Chrome, Edge, IE, Mozilla Firefox or Safari. Okay, on all these browsers, whether the application is properly working or not, or whether application is properly visible or not. And also there is some Windows OS, Mac OS, Linux OS. On these three different OSs, our application is working properly fine or not, we are going to test. That is called as compatibility testing. Okay, so this compatibility testing includes device compatibility testing, operating system compatibility testing, and browser compatibility testing. So these are what we discussed just now. Okay, these are related to the browsers, operating system, and OS, right? So what is our next testing here? Recovery testing. Okay, so it is a process of checking does our application can handle unpredictable situations, like if there are some power failures, and also if there are some chances due to cyclones our systems will crash. Okay, so likewise some natural disasters your application is going to crash or not. We are once it got crashed, or if your power got if you have some power failure, so during that time are we able to recover all our data inside our application or not? Okay, that is about recovery testing, right? So then the next testing here is performance testing. It is a process of checking various efficiency characteristics of the system, such as response time or processing speed, load testing, stress testing, transaction per minute, and transaction mixture. Okay, means the main what is the performance testing means it is a process of checking various efficiency characteristics of the system, such as response time or processing speed, load or stress, transaction per minute or transaction mixture. Here loading means, okay, loading means, for example, if there is some banking application, so like many customers are logging into their application, during that time whether that particular application is can able to access all the users whoever logged in 1 minute. For example, 1000 users are logged into that particular application. So during this time whether our application is able to handle the particular load or not, because load is very huge. During this time what will happen, servers got some issue because of load. Okay, so during this performance testing we are going to test all these efficiency techniques. Okay, so then what is the next testing? Globalization testing. So what is globalization testing means it is a process of checking the user can configure different language and currency, date and time operations or not, if it is made for multiple locality of users. For example, if I am using my laptop, so there you can see your current local time and current date, right? So whereas if you are working on some USA, like United States of America, so there also you will get you will have your local time, that is UST, right? Sorry, that is your local United States time. Okay, so during this time whether we can able to configure different languages and currency, date and time operations or not, if it is made for multiple locality of users. For example, the best example here is laptop only. Okay, and also this globalization testing is also called as internalization testing, shortly I18N. Okay, internalization testing means I starting with I and end internalization which is ending with N. So in between this I and N there are 18 alphabets, so that's why the shortcut of this globalization testing is I18N. We can also call this globalization testing as I18N. Whereas what is localization testing? Okay, what is localization testing? Checking the default language, currency, date and time format for the application designed for one or specific locality of users. For example, IRCT's application, it is applicable only for Indian people only. Okay, that is a main example for, that is the good example for localization testing. Okay, checking the default language, currency, date and time. Okay, if I want to book some ticket, so what it will accept? It will accept only INR. and also it will accept only Indian date and time only, and also it will accept default language, that is Hindi only. Okay, that is called as localization testing, and this localization testing is also called as L10N testing. Okay, don't be confused if you interviewer ask you about I18N, that is called as internalization testing, also called as globalization testing. L10N, that is called as localization testing, right? So then what is our next testing? Installation testing. What is installation testing? It is a process of checking are we able to install the product successfully or not as per the guidelines given in the installation documents. Okay, that is called as installation testing. If I want to install some uh, YouTube application, or if I want to install some Java, okay, so while during installation, okay, during our installation, are we able to install the product successfully or not as per the guidelines provided by the Java community? Okay, that is called as installation testing. The same, it is reversible uninstallation testing. It is a process of checking are we able to uninstall the product successfully or not as per the guidelines provided by the Java community to uninstall that particular product from my laptop. Okay, so that is about uninstallation testing. So these are all the different non-functional testing types, and remaining all are comes under functional testing types. Okay, what is black box testing and why we need go for black box testing? Combination like system testing and user acceptance testing combinedly called as black box testing. Under system testing we discussed about regression testing, retesting, ad hoc testing, formal testing, and we discussed about priority based or risk based testing. So after that we discussed about non-functional testing types such as UI testing, compatibility testing, usability testing, authorization testing, security testing, okay, authentication testing, and then compatible testing, recovery testing, performance testing, globalization, localization, installation, and uninstallation testing. Okay, so these are all comes under non-functional testing types. Okay, so that's all it for now, guys. If you have any doubts or comments or any concerns, please mention in the comment section so that I will try to improve myself. Okay, so this is just a theoretical part only what I shown you. Maybe you can feel some bore, but it will help you if you are attending for any interview, or if you want to write down all these concepts, you can just prepare a note about all these concepts. Okay, so that is all about black box testing and why black box testing, and tomorrow I will discuss about user acceptance testing. Okay, tomorrow I will upload one video for what is user acceptance testing and its types. Okay, so that's all it for now, guys. I hope you people enjoyed this video. If you like this, like this video, please drop a like, and also please subscribe to my channel if you are new to here, and also please don't forget to share this video to our friends or colleagues so that they will also learn the concept if they are looking for. Okay, until then, take care everyone, have a nice day. Signing off, Selenium Tech Automation. We will meet with our next video. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Good night.